Hey everybody, Steve Billman here. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we are going to continue our series, Mastering Rhythm. And today we're going to deal with triplets. And we're going to start with eighth note triplets, which most everybody understands and knows how to play. But then we're going to get into quarter note triplets and half note triplets, which are a little bit more complex. And I am calling this series Triplets No Longer a Secret because for so much of my early development in music, I was kind of guessing at triplets. I kind of knew how they felt, and so when I played them, I would kind of listen and where everybody else is playing them, and I kind of guess at it. But what I didn't realize is that there is math behind these, especially the quarter note triplet and the half note triplet. Now, the eighth note triplet is odd anyway because you're fitting three notes evenly spaced into one beat, which is an odd phrase. But I think most of us have dealt with eighth note triplets more, so we get a little more comfortable with them. Plus, they're closer together, and so it's not quite as hard. Whenever anything is spaced out more in terms of rhythm, whenever there's more space, it becomes easier to misinterpret where the time is. So this is true with quarter note triplets and half note triplets. But what we're going to discover is that the quarter note and half note triplet are contained within the eighth note triplet. So if you're comfortable with eighth note triplets, this shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. So we're going to dive into that. And the way we're going to do it is I'm going to have you do one of two things. I'm either going to have you snap, which is how I'm going to do it, or I want you to tap the eighth note triplet, okay? And for right now, I'm going to count them as triplets, but eventually I want to use the South Indian way of counting because I think, again, when you create these different rhythms, that way of counting is good, okay? So I'm going to count it one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet right now for the eighth notes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my right hand because I'm right-handed. I'm going to snap each one of the eighth note triplets. So one triplet, right? Now notice that beat two then is going to be on my left hand. Two triplet. Back to my right hand. Three triplet. And then my left hand one more time. Four triplet. So the beats are changing hands. Every beat is on a different hand. One, two, three, four, right? Okay, so that's going to benefit us when we go to the quarter note and the half note triplet here. But let's try just the eighth note triplet with the counting right now, okay? So here we go. Two, three, four. One triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, okay? So notice that I'm snapping every triplet while I'm counting it. One triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet. And again, notice that one is here, two is here, three is here, and four is here. Okay, so that's the eighth note triplet. Now, if we count it with the Indian counting, we're going to say takite. Takite is for a three-note phrase. So takite, 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 takite. And notice that ta, every time I hit ta, that's representing the downbeat, okay? So again, right, ta, ta, ta. So it's going right, left, right, left. All right, so that's the eighth note triplet. Now, to get the quarter note triplet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the speed of the triplet, but I'm going to accent after every second triplet. So instead of waiting for the third triplet to finish and then accenting, I'm going to accent on the third triplet and on the fifth triplet, okay? So it's going to be in groupings of two. So let me show you what I mean. One triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? So all I do to get the quarter note triplet from the eighth note triplet is I phrase the triplet in groups of twos. Again, we don't change the rhythm. The rhythm is still a triplet. All we're doing is we're regrouping the notes. And what this does is this gets us into an area called polyrhythms, which simply means you have two rhythms going on at the same time. So in this case, we have a 3 rhythm happening over a 2 rhythm, right? So within 2 beats, you're going to have 3 notes that are accented. That gives us a polyrhythm, and that's what a quarter note triplet is. Okay, all right. But here's a way to do it without even really counting it or thinking about it. Is as you're doing the triplets, snapping. This is why I want you to snap. As you're snapping them, what I want you to do is I want you to silence your left hand. Still motion it, but don't snap it. And what'll happen is the quarter note triplet will be in your right hand. So you're still functioning like you're playing eighth note triplets, but you're only sounding or snapping the right hand. Let me show you what I mean. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet. Here we go. 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 3 triplet. Back to eighths. Triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3. Silence your left hand. 1 triplet, 3 triplet, 1 triplet, 3 triplet. Okay? So again, the reason I like the snapping is you don't even have to know how to construct the quarter note triplet. As long as you know how to snap the eighth note triplet, that quarter note triplet is naturally produced. Okay, so let's practice that. So again, let's do 2 bars of eighth note triplets snapping, and then we'll do 2 bars of quarter note triplets. And what I'm going to do this time now is instead of counting 1 triplet, 2 triplet, I'm going to say takite, 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 okay? And then when I go to the quarter note triplet, I'm going to switch that to the Indian counting for 2 notes, which is taka. So remember that the ta is giving us the accent. Whenever we say ta, it's an accented note. So takite, ta is the accented note, and there's 3 notes there which represent the triplet. When I switch to ta-ka, ta is the accent, ka is the second phrase, right? Taka, taka, taka. So every time those tas happen, that gives me the accent. And that'll give me the quarter note triplet. So let me show you. So I'm going to do 2 bars of eighth note triplets and then 2 bars of quarter note triplets. 2, 3, 4. Takite, 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 taki, taka, 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 taka. Again. Takite, 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 taki, takite, 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 taka, 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 taka. Taka. So you can see that just by silencing my left hand, I'm producing this quarter note triplet. But also by using those syllables, I'm going from the triplet, eighth note triplet, takite, by going to taka and not changing the speed of the rhythm. That's going to give me that polyrhythm of 3/2. Okay, that's going to give me the quarter note triplet. All right, does that make sense? I hope. Okay, great. So that's the quarter note triplet. Now, when we go to the half note triplet, it's not going to be groupings of 3. It's not going to be groupings of 2, but it's going to be groupings of 4. Okay, so that means after every 4th triplet, I'm going to accent, and that's going to give me the half note triplet. So in the Indian counting, the syllable for 4 would be takadimi. So again, ta is always representing the accent, right? Takadimi, takadimi, takadimi. And again, This is mostly used for 4-note phrases like 16th notes, but we're not changing the triplet. The triplet is still remaining the same. We're just regrouping the accents. We're regrouping the notes. So instead of after every 3 or after every 2, we're going to accent after every 4. And I'm going to use takadimi as the example for that. Okay? So if I get the triplet going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Takadimi, 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 tak, tak, or ta, ki, te, ta, ki, te. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you can see it's a more complicated rhythm because of the syncopation, but also because of the space. But if I'm just trying to feel that arbitrarily, it's going to be a lot harder than if I'm actually feeling those smaller triplets grouped in 4s, right? And the other thing is visually you can see it in your hands, because all I have to do now is play the triplet, but I just now accent after every 4th triplet. And what you're going to find is, again, it's in your right hand, but it's every other right hand. It's not like the quarter note triplet produces every right hand. This is every other right hand. Okay, so it's after every 4. And what you get is, again, you get 3 accents in the space of 4 beats this time. So I always say this, but this is what I love about music, is that there's logic to music. It is internal and it is from our heart and it's emotional, but there's also math, there's logic, there's calculations that just work in rhythm. And this is a mathematical equation, right? You're gonna phrase in groups of 4. This will give you 3 accents over the 4 beats in the measure. Okay, so I know it's complicated, but again, it's something that when you work on it, you'll start to feel it. So let's go back to those half note triplets and let's do it a little bit more officially, since I kind of just ran through it. But again, if this is the 8th note, 1 triplet, 2, or let me do the taco, sorry. Taka, taka, taki, te, taki, te, taki, te, taki, taki, te, taki. Now I go to taki, dimi. Taka, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, 1, dimi, taka, dimi, taka, dimi, 1, dimi, taka, taka, dimi, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can see that now there's the 3 accents over the 4 beats, which I'm doing with my foot. So that gives us the half note triplet. All right. So like I said before, everything's coming from the 8th note triplet. So there's no longer a reason you have to guess at what's going on. The math is there, the understanding is there. Now it's just a matter of practice. So I'm going to come back with more videos where we'll just focus on singing rhythms. But for right now, I just want to do this one exercise, and then you guys can work with a click and you can practice these different triplets. But remember at first to keep the snapping going, because that's going to help you identify those different groupings. All right. And before we do that, let's just look at what these rhythms produce. So with the 8th note triplet, there's 3 notes in the space of 1 beat, which again is an odd rhythm because you're scrunching 3 evenly spaced notes into 1 beat. With the quarter note triplet, you're doing 3 notes evenly spaced over 2 beats, which again is giving you a polyrhythm of 3/2. Then the half note triplets, it's 3 notes, but it's spaced over 4 beats, right? Which is giving you 3/4. Now that, if you look at it, that's simple math. Everything's doubling, right? 1 beat goes, the 8th note triplets in 1 beat, the quarter note triplets in 2 beats, that's doubling it. And then the half note triplet is in 4 beats, which 2 + 2 it's doubling it, right? So again, there's math inside all of this stuff. It's really great. Okay, so let's get to the exercise. All right, so here we go. Okay, so what I want to do now is we're just going to do 2 bars of eighth note triplets, 2 bars of quarter note triplets, 2 bars of eighth note triplets, and then 2 bars of half note triplets. And we'll do that whole pattern twice. Okay, and then we'll stop. All right, so again, 2 times the eighth note triplets, 2 times quarter note triplets, 2 times eighth note triplets, and 2 times half note triplets. And when I say times, I mean two bars. Sorry. All right, so I'll give you the quarter note. I'm going to start snapping the eighth note triplets, and then I'll count you in. Here we go. Count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Taki te, taki te, taki te, taki te, taki te, taki, taki te, taki, taki te, 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 taki te. Taki te, taki te, taki te, taki, taki te, 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 taki te. All right, there you go. So again, the secret to this is practice. At least for me, these rhythms did not come naturally. Maybe for some people, but for me, the triplets are really hard. But again, the biggest problem I had was not understanding the triplet. So now you understand the triplet, you know how it's broken up, and you know how to work with it. So take your time, use a click to keep yourself honest, at least at first. You can eventually get away from it, but you need something to hold you accountable with the time. So use a click. And be sure to use these snapping tools. Start maybe just going from the eighth note triplet to quarter note triplet and just get comfortable with that. And then eventually go to eighth note, do the group of 4, and try to do the half note triplet. Okay? All right, you guys, there's more to come on this. And if you're interested in these polyrhythm kind of things too, you can check out my bass rhythm studies course, which is going to deal a lot with it. It's directly to the bass instrument, but still the concepts will work for any instrument. All right. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for checking out the video, and I will see you next time. Take care. God bless everybody.